I'm hearing from voters that they're trying to sort through this chaos. And as Garrett mentioned, this Supreme Court battle is at the heart of voters' minds right now here over the next month. You know, we can make a case that there are still 11, 12, even 13 Senate races that are still competitive. You know, that includes right here in Colorado. And you'll recall back in 2016, it was Democrats that largely steered away from the Supreme Court messaging. But this go around in 2020, it's these Democratic challengers taking on these 12, 13 Republican incumbents that are trying to use this SCOTUS nomination fight to their advantage, reminding voters that DACA protections are on the line, Roe v. Wade, gun restrictions, the Affordable Care Act. Take a listen to part of my conversation just yesterday afternoon with Colorado's former governor and the Democratic challenger, John Hickenlooper, who is here taking on Republican incumbent Cory Gardner. Why should Cory Gardner not vote on Amy Coney Barrett when Colorado voters elected him to make those sorts of votes?
Why not let the voters? And I still hope Cory Gardner will come back to earth and recognize that Coloradans, you know, they look at a lot of her positions as questionable. They don't want to see the Affordable Care Act struck down, that overwhelmingly popular now, that we have protections for pre-existing conditions.
I mentioned these 11 to 13 vulnerable Republicans that are seeking re-election. Recall, they last ran 6 years ago in 2014 before Donald Trump was ever around. And just take Arapahoe County, where I am, right here in Colorado. Back in 2014, Cory Gardner essentially tied his Democratic opponent here. 2 years later, when Donald Trump ran here in this county, he lost by 14 percentage points. Cory Gardner ran in 2014 as this Colorado independent. And just last night on the television at my hotel, you're seeing the same similar ads, saying that he is for bipartisanship. But to what extent are these Colorado voters willing to separate him from Donald Trump? Well, a great number of voters, even conservatives, told us they're not. Take a listen to part of my conversation with the Roths. Usually vote Republican?
Yeah.
Did you vote for Gardner in 2014 for the Senate?
Yes.
Why not Gardner this go around?
Because he's a Trump guy. Not voting for anybody that supports Trump.
On the Supreme Court pick, as conservatives, do you want Amy Coney Barrett to go through?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because it's not fair. Because they blocked Merrick Garland on the premise that it had to wait for the next election, and now they completely ignore the same rules when they're in charge.
And what is compelling about those folks here, those Littleton residents, is that they are lifelong conservatives. They told me that they want conservatives on the Supreme Court, but when it comes to this process that has played out, they are reticent towards Donald Trump's leadership, and therefore Cory Gardner, who essentially they've equated to being a rubber stamp for Donald Trump. The question is, does this hurt Cory Gardner, Martha McSally, over in North Carolina, Tom Tillis, Joni Ernst out in Iowa? They could very well vote to confirm Amy Coney Barrett, and then just 1 week later, go and lose their Senate races. Craig?